to descriptions that fit you well in stressful situations. And you will need to write a brief summary of what happened with these behaviors led to conflict. Also, you will need to build your action plan for dealing with conflict. There may be some behaviors that you need to avoid or modify when you're in conflict. I have issues in negotiating, and I tend to compromise, even if I don't agree, just because I don't want to have any conflict. Okay, I am making sure that now I know what are the behaviors that I need to avoid or modify. How will avoiding or modifying these behaviors help me become more effective when I encounter conflict? Am I going to become more assertive? Probably I will be speaking on my behalf, and then later I will not feel sad because people are taking advantage of myself. What will I do to avoid or modify these behaviors? I'm going to become more attentive. I'm going to improve my listening skills. If you're a strong D and you don't listen to others, probably what you want to avoid is like you want to avoid being autocratic, and you want to start paying attention to other people's opinions. But something very important here, you need to set a timeline. It's not like, oh yes, I need to do this, and you never do it. You never change. You never modify your behavior. You need to set a timeline. Okay, let's say in the next 2 weeks, I will start paying attention to my behaviors. In the next 3 months, I will make sure that I have modified already my behavior. Do you have any question?
No.
No conflicts.
How do you deal with conflict, Mofit?
I see it's all about relation, so that if you are friendly with the co-workers, you can explain, or we can listen to his concern, and then we can put our concern, and then we can come to a mutual understanding, and then to work together end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Is there any behavior that you would like to modify?
Honestly speaking, I haven't come across anything like that in my experience, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. So if the employer asked you in the interview, tell me about a time when you had to deal with a conflict with your supervisor. You need to find the story, okay? Mm-hmm. They will also ask you, how did you handle that situation? So you will need to be, I will show you next week the steps in how to answer those questions, but I just want you to start, and that's for everyone, to start thinking about situations when you had to deal with conflict at work. Because we all have conflict. Conflict is not only an argument. It's not only fighting. It's a disagreement.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we have to do this project this time this way. Oh, but we have never done it this way. We always do it this other way. Yes, but we need to make changes, organizational changes. We might be rebranding. There could be a situation in which the team is not, even parties, sometimes gatherings, Christmas celebration. Some people want pizza, some others want chicken. That's a conflict. Now you have to come to an agreement. Okay, let's get chicken pizza, something like that. Yeah, so let's find something, or find situations that have not worked well in conflict, probably in the past. probably 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 20 years ago when you didn't have the experience that you have today. It could be conflict with a family member, a spouse, or a partner.
It happens every time.
Those ones, we do have conflicts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So think about those situations. How do you approach conflict in that particular relationship? You don't have to tell me the story, okay? But identify the behaviors. That's for everyone. I see that this group tends to be like more empathetic. Probably you don't have a lot of conflict. I haven't seen any people fighting here for their opinions in this group yet. So I'm thinking that you're able to manage conflict effectively at work. But think about your personal relationships with your spouses, your partners, siblings, parents. Think about situations when you have had conflict with them. How did you approach the situation? And what are the behaviors that you want to modify? Sometimes it's just not taking it personally. With my mom is a very strong D. My mom is like, she's always angry. She's always yelling at people. She's never happy with the outcomes. If you don't help her, she's angry. If you help her, she's angry because it's not how she wanted to be done. So what's the behavior? Before I used to take it personally. I used to get very angry. I used to vocalize my emotions and feelings. But now I don't take it personally. That's the way she is. She's almost 80 years old. She's not going to change. But later, when she's calm, when she's quiet, I go and I tell her, hey, Mom, when you were telling me this, I felt that you were not being respectful towards my feelings. And I just wanted to let you know that I don't like when you talk to me like that. But when everything is quiet. So that's how I learned. Now I'm 42. But when I was 18, oh my gosh, it was so different. Now I understand those behaviors. I understand her behavior. And I understand my behavior and how to modify my behavior to have a nice relationship with her. And then at the end of the day, we love each other so much. That's one simple example, real life example that I'm sharing with you. So let's go to your drives. And you could complete it in the drive, or you could complete it in your mind. Actually, no, right? You could do it in a different document. You could do it by hand, but make sure that you write it down somehow. I don't need to see it because it might be a personal story, but you need to write it down and find the behaviors that you want to change. Any questions?
No.
No? Okay, you will find your reports. And let me find my report so I can tell you what page you have them. Okay, this is something that you can do when you are in your report, in case you're not doing it already. If you press Control F and then find the word conflict in there. So you can find everywhere where it talks about conflict. So you will see it under the disc model, the 4 dimensions. in the square. There is also one, you will also find that in your pattern. And you will find that in page number 2. In work habits, under work habits, sometimes you find about conflict as well. In insights, sometimes you find something about conflict. Just do the Control F and read your patterns, where you will see how is it that you deal with conflict. So you can answer the questions from the handout. Any question about the activity?
No.
No. Okay, I'm going to give you about 20 minutes to do this activity. Okay. And then we are going to come together as a group. Everyone will have to share what is the behavior that you want to change or modify. And then we're going to have our break. Okay. So see you in 20 minutes. That will be around, what time is it now?
It'll be around noon.
Yeah, around 12:05. Yes, around noon.
Sorry, which file is this?
My style in conflict.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. See you soon. I'm going to be here if you have any questions.
Hi, are you there?
Hi.
Yeah. I have a question about the second question. Write a brief summary of what happened when these behaviors led to conflict. So these behaviors mean like which behavior?
From the behaviors that you're going to find in the report.
Oh, you mean the first one? The first.
Mhm.
So first,
Yes.
actually, ask us to select one or two description that fit you well in stressful situations. So
Yes.
you mean like like by solving the certain behaviors, what problem it caused?
No, from the report, you will find some descriptions of how you behave in stressful situations.
Yeah.
And then think about a time
Mm.
when these behaviors led to conflict. Like the example that I gave about my mom, right? I'm an I. So my behaviors, my descriptions from the report is that I care a lot for the relationships, and also that I'm very vocal with my emotions. And so that's the description. Now write a brief summary of what happened when these behaviors led to conflict. Okay, I had a fight with my mom because I was telling her I was responding and I was very defensive.
So we had to write the negative situation that happened, or it can be positive as well.
Um, it needs to be a negative situation because it's like when it was not managed properly,
Oh, okay.
it led to conflict.
Okay.
Yes. But again, remember, I don't need to read it. Okay. You don't need to respond in the document that is in the drive. You could do it in a different document so you can be honest with your answer because I'm not going to read it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome. Hello.
Who are you talking to? Like,
To everyone, to the
Oh.
group. Hello. Yes. Do you need more time to work in this activity?
I think I'm almost done. I don't know
You're
about
almost
others.
done. What about others?
I'm ready and good to go whenever
You're
anyone
ready?
else is.
Mm-hmm. Omolara?
It. I won't lie. I'm not really getting it.
Okay. Was everyone able to work in the action plan for dealing with conflict?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So let's talk about what are the behaviors that you will be modifying or changing? Anyone who would like to share?
Okay, I share mine. So usually, whenever the conflict happen, I used to, quit jobs. Sometime if a coworker treat me badly, I stay silent and don't bother much, and because of that they do that again and again. So the first thing I try to avoid it, stick with the job and try to face them often. Try to face them and stay with it. And then if a coworker treat badly, maybe it's better to deal with that and find some, like, do something about it than staying silent.
Okay, like either speaking assertively with a coworker or asking a supervisor to mediate the situation, right? Depending on the type of conflict.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tilevan. Thank you. Who else would like to share the behaviors that you will be modifying? What about Ash?
Sure. I find that mine, or the two that I took from my DISC assessment that I feel are issues for me, are restrained in C and inactive and complacent in S. I have an issue of kind of just going with the flow of things, even if I don't necessarily agree with them. And that can cause issues too, because if I look at what someone else is doing and I think to myself, oh, well, maybe, there'd be a better way of doing this, instead of actually speaking that up, I just kind of go, but it's easier to just go along with what he's saying. It still gets done anyway. Which I should work on and be more, open, communicative, express when I have another idea in mind, that kind of thing.
And will you be actually modifying the behavior, or you prefer just to continue the way as you are right now?
No, I'd like to modify the behavior.
Okay. Thank you, Ash. Just I think sometimes we need to be a little bit more assertive only, right? Yeah. Thank you. Omolara, what are the behaviors that you will be changing or modifying?
I think I'm more into people. I like solving people's problems too much. I don't concentrate more on myself. So I think I like to modify that. As in, I should be able to set priorities for myself too. I'm making decisions on my own.
Yes, there is some noise in the background.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Molara. Three.
What I see is that due to poor communication, some conflicts happened. So I think that due to that, I have to clearly explain the work and what to be done. That's the thing that I see.
I'm sorry, it was cutting off. My sound was cutting off. Could you repeat yourself, please?
Yeah. That is what I see is that due to unclear and poor communication, some conflicts happens. So that I think I have to improve by clearly understand to explain it to the co-worker.
Okay.
Till they understand it properly, then I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, finding different ways of explaining information.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that is also an issue that we sometimes have, that we only have one way of explaining, our own way, but not everyone learns equally. We learn differently, and we need to find different strategies for everyone to understand the information and clarify information when needed. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. I would like to hear from everyone. What's your learning this week about yourself?
We learned about our behaviors, that we learned about different people actually. Now we know how can we approach them if we with certain people.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sullivan. Anyone else? I would like to invite you for next week. Next week, just as a reminder, on Monday, we have a presentation from Seneca College at 10:30. Okay. So it will be from 10:30 to 12:30, 2 hours. Okay. And I would like to meet for half an hour with two of you at 1 o'clock. One person at 1 o'clock, one person at 1:30. But also I would like to see if anyone could meet with me at 9 and another person at 9:30. So we can start
on the Monday?
On the Monday, yes.
I can probably do 9:30 on the Monday.
9:30? Okay. Thank you, Ash. Who can meet with me at 9 o'clock on Monday on Zoom?
I'll do that.
Yeah, Omolara?
9 o'clock? Yeah.
Yes. 9, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
This meeting is for?
This is an individual appointment for us to talk about you, who you are, to get to know a little bit about each other, because we just met this week, and I would like to find strategies to improve our communication as a coach or facilitator in the group.
So you said it's 10:30 to 12:30 the meeting?
The meeting with Seneca College is 10:30 to 12:30. No class, it's only that presentation.
Oh, okay. So you have time 12:30 or like 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock. Can you meet with me at 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And Mofid, could you meet with me at 1:30?
No problem.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's going to be just like a 15-20 minute conversation, just to have a little chat. Okay. Because this week we didn't have the time to have that introduction like one-on-one. It was only as a group, and I feel that we need that to have that meeting. Okay. Any questions about Monday?
No.
No? Okay. And on Tuesday, we are going to start job interview skills preparation. And in the morning, we're going to have a conversation about interviews. What do we know? And in the afternoon, we're going to do a short video recording of a mock interview. Okay, so be ready with your cell phone. You will need to connect with your cell phone, or you will need to get camera for your device, a working camera for your device, because it is mandatory that we video record the mock interviews. Okay?
Okay.
Yep, that will be for Tuesday.
Okay.
So that's it from me this week. Sometimes this disc takes a longer time because people have questions or they share. But with this group, everyone was very quiet. I was able to cover all the information in 4 days. So
There's also only a couple of us in the group, so that also makes things go a little quicker.
Yeah, but I've had other groups that are also like four people, four was my other group. But sometimes people are more chatty than other times, but it's okay. We're getting to know each other, and I hope that in next week for interviews you have more questions, and that there is actually like more specific questions about interviews, questions that you had in the past that you were not able to answer or were difficult, or if you could share some experiences about interviews that went well, or some experiences that didn't go as well as you wanted, so we can learn from each other. Okay, so think about your interviews in the past.
Okay.
That's all for today.
Yeah, that's it for today. That's it for this week. Please use the rest of the day to read your report, to get rest. And if you have any assignments that you still need to complete, check your drive. If you have anything missing, and work on it tomorrow. So for Monday, you have all your assignments uploaded.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. If you have any question, you have my email, and also I share the phone number. And next week, at the end of next week, I will be connecting with your caseworkers in order to get the clothing allowance if you have not received it yet, and or to be referred to a clothing program.
Okay.
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 Thank you, everyone. Thank you for this week.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone. See you next week.
All right.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.